morning, everyone, or afternoon if you're watching this a little bit later, like my crowd over here at Strongsville. I'm Jill at Vitalia Strongsville, and I'm here for your weekly meditation. We last week went through the different colors, if you were here and joined us, kind of visualizing the colors and how they make us feel. I wonder if anybody did my homework and actually wore different colors and experimented with how it made you feel or how it made other people feel around you. So if anybody wants to shoot me a message in the chat or an email or give it to your resident services director so they can let me know, that would be awesome. I'd love to hear it if you did participate in that. Today, we are going to focus on the most important part of, I think, life is our breath. So when I first started practicing yoga, my teacher said, well, we're going to learn how to breathe. And I thought that was the craziest thing I've ever heard. But it's true. We don't breathe correctly. We are breathing automatically, right? We're not telling each other or ourselves, okay, I have to breathe in, I have to breathe out. And if we forget and stop breathing, then, we're gone. We're not here anymore because we're not bringing that oxygen into our brains and into our bodies. So breath comes automatically. We don't think about it. Thank goodness we don't have to think about it. But when we meditate and when we practice yoga and even when we're exercising or running, we focus more on the breath and we pay attention to our breathing a lot more. The inhale, the exhale, and we can start to breathe better. And breathing better is actually kind of like a prescription drug. It heals us. So the more you breathe, the more oxygen that comes into the bloodstream. And then that oxygen that's in the bloodstream goes to all of your organs and all of your muscles and into your face, into your skin. That's our biggest organ, right? And it just makes us feel better and it makes us healthier. And I never thought that I didn't know how to breathe correctly, but I learned how to breathe. And when I'm talking to you now, I'm not practicing that. I'm not consciously taking time to feel each breath because, my mouth is moving. So when we settle in, when we quiet our mind, when we allow ourselves to rest and really just focus on the breath and the inhale and the exhale, we become more conscious and aware of all of that oxygen that's coming into our bodies and into our minds. So we're going to do a little bit of that today in our meditation practice. Just really feeling the breath, maybe even, making the breath last a little longer. So sometimes when you inhale, you only take in a little bit of air instead of filling your whole lungs. So we'll concentrate on really trying to fill up that space in our lungs. Science says that we don't breathe correctly. Normally we take about 15 breaths per minute, approximately. But when we're concentrating on the breath and really filling the lungs all the way and emptying them all the way, it reduces to about approximately 4 breaths per minute. So it shows you how much we're not using our lungs. We're not filling our lungs. We're not bringing in all of that oxygen like we should when we're just normally breathing. So we're going to learn how to breathe better today, and hopefully it'll improve your health. So let's start by, of course, sitting up nice and tall in our chairs. Sitting up tall allows the lungs to create all that space. So instead of the lungs crunching, so we can't fill them up if we're slouched, we sit up tall so the lungs can expand. So let your shoulders relax, loosen up here, and let's take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And just for a moment, notice how that breath felt. Did it feel forced? Did you feel like you were holding your breath? Did you feel like you were not breathing in very much? Now let's try it again. And this time become aware of how much is coming into the lungs. So start really slow from the diaphragm or from the belly button. We're going to breathe in until the lungs fill all the way up, until we feel the chest expand all the way out. So deep breath in. Keep going until you can't fit any more air in. And then slowly exhale until the chest collapses and the belly expands back out. Did you notice a difference from that first breath where we weren't paying too much attention to that second breath? Hopefully, we were able to feel more oxygen coming in on that second round. So let's just breathe naturally and normally. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. One more time. Good job. Let's loosen up the space in our chest. So we're going to take those shoulders back, squeeze the shoulder blades together, feel the chest expand, stretching that front rib cage, and then roll the shoulders forward, round the spine. Again, the back rib cage opening up. Oh, all right, good. Back pull the shoulders back, the shoulder blades kiss, and then round it forward. Good. Keep going a few more times just to kind of loosen up the chest, loosen up the back, and the lungs expand into both. It's a good stretch too. Good, one more time. Beautiful. Come back up, grab one side of your chair. Let's take a twist over one shoulder. Again, we're going to feel the stretch here through the chest and probably through the lower back, maybe into the hip, depending how tight we are back here. Good. And then change directions, grab the other side, give yourself a twist, stretching the chest. Good. And back to center. We're going to give ourselves a little roll here. Go circle the hips, circle the shoulders, any kind of movement to just loosen up the torso. And change direction. All right, a little shake. And hopefully we feel a little more looser up top. Okay, again, as we inhale, those muscles are going to expand in the chest. The lungs are going to expand into the chest, and we want to make sure there's space for that. So a lot of times if we're tight, the muscles are tight here from maybe clenching or, even anxiety gives us those tight muscles in the chest if we have some chest pains. I know my brother, who also experiences anxiety and panic attacks, he gets very tight chest and always goes to the emergency room thinking, it's a heart attack, when really it's just those muscles have, they're so tight because you're so anxious and they've just, they need to be stretched out. So let's always make sure that this is stretched, just like our legs should be stretched and our back should be stretched. We want to stretch every muscle in the body, even the chest. All right, let's take a deep breath in and out. And then relax into your chair. So we can lose that posture a little bit, but still try to stay a little bit upright. So we don't want to crunch too much and, take a nap and curl up to one side, because we're still going to concentrate on breathing, even if it's more in the mind that we're thinking about the breath and not so much in the body. So sit up halfway, I would say. Relax your arms, relax your shoulders, and try to relax those chest muscles and back muscles as well as you come here. And let your eyes close. Maybe lean the head back. And start to breathe naturally in and out through the nose. As you start to breathe naturally, bring awareness to the breath. And if you have trouble with that, you might say in your mind, I am breathing in. I am breathing out. I am breathing in. I am breathing out. Again, just noticing the breath moving from navel to throat and throat to navel. Notice if your breath is shallow or if you're taking really deep breaths. Notice if you feel like you're holding the breath. Notice if the breath might feel stuck. Sometimes we have to take like 2 breaths in order to fill up. So notice that if you're feeling anything of that nature. And then begin to visualize in your mind your lungs. And picture them however you want to picture them as your actual anatomy of the lungs, or maybe you picture them as 2 big balloons in the chest. Maybe they're just that bright white light, and we can see the light expand and contract from us. So bring to mind however you visualize your lungs. And as you breathe, begin to see those lungs expanding and contracting. Notice how fast they're moving, how slow they're moving. If you're picturing your lungs like balloons, see them blowing up and then deflating. And if you're picturing them as light, see that light getting bright and then dimming. And take a moment just to visualize how the breath is moving through your body. And as you continue to feel the breath moving, expanding and contracting, begin to feel the coolness of the air as it enters your nose, and how it warms going down into the chest. And then notice the air releasing, warm and maybe coming back out, feeling cool through the nose or the mouth, however you're exhaling. Visualizing the lungs expanding and contracting, and then also feeling that movement of air as cool or warm. With your eyes remaining closed, begin to now visualize the air. Maybe the air looks like one of those cartoon air where you see the pie smell kind of floating through the air. Or maybe again, it's just that white light being brought into the body and then exhaling out. Begin to visualize what the air looks like coming in through the nose, traveling down the throat, moving down into the chest, into the belly, and then slowly coming back up the belly, the chest, the throat, and then out through the nose or the mouth. Slowing down the breath, paying attention to that movement as you visualize what the air looks like. As you feel what temperature that air is entering and exiting. And then the expansion and contraction of the lungs and the belly. The movement of the balloon or the light. And putting those three things together at the same time, really begin to focus just on your breath. Let go of every other chatter that might be going on in the mind. Let go of every thought and just feel the breath. As you feel the breath, allow it to get slower and slower. Breathing more air into the lungs. And then exhaling and letting all of that air go. All of those toxins go. Or maybe you visualize the stress or anxiety or worry leaving the body as you exhale. Bring your awareness to that inhale as you fill all the way up. And to the exhale as you empty out completely. Begin to allow the breath to calm the mind, to calm the body, to allow your muscles to relax, to allow your stress and anxiety to relax. To allow you to feel a sense of peace and relaxation in this moment. Allow the breath to do all the work. Something as simple as breathing in and out. And just becoming a little more conscious of it can help relax our mind and our thoughts. Can help relax tight muscles. Can help relax any pain or discomfort that we feel in our bodies. Continue to take a few more deep, relaxing breaths. Allowing the body to relax deeper and deeper with each inhale and exhale. Now begin to visualize the breath, the air that's moving into the lungs and out of the lungs, as flowing water. So picture the air blue, crisp, flowing like a stream in through the nose, down the throat, into the chest, into the lungs, into the belly. And then once it gets to the belly, start to see almost like a little tornado of water kind of swirling around there and then going back up. So it comes down, it swirls around, and then it comes back up through the belly, into the lungs, into the throat, out through the nose or the mouth, and back in through the nose, down the throat, into the chest, flowing water, down to the belly, to the diaphragm, swirling around and then coming back up slowly. Belly, lungs, chest, throat, nose or mouth. And then one more time, in through the nose. Slowly feel that motion of water moving down into the throat, into the chest, down into the lungs, into the belly, swirling around and coming back up slowly. Belly, lungs, chest, throat, nose or mouth. Then return back to your natural unforced breath. Slowly breathing in and out. And notice if the lungs have expanded and we can fill more air into the lungs. And feel the air flowing more freely instead of maybe feeling that little stuck motion as you inhale, almost forcing the breath. Allow that gentle flow where there's no effort, just naturally moving. Notice that sense of peace and calm that has come over the mind and over the body. Letting go of all of your thoughts, all of your worries. And for a few more moments, just focusing on the breath and how it moves through you. Back to that natural unforced breath. We start to bring our awareness back to the space where we are sitting. And beginning to awaken our bodies by wiggling our fingers, waking up the hands, all the finger joints. And wiggling the toes in our shoes, waking up the feet, starting to get some blood flow to the feet and ankles and legs. Giving your head a little stretch from side to side as we wake up the neck and the head. And then coming back up to that nice posture in your chair if you've lost it a bit. Sitting up tall, and again taking one big breath, the biggest breath you can take, inhaling and exhaling. Allow your eyes to gently open as we come back into this space, hopefully feeling a little bit lighter, both in the physical body and in the mind, as we allowed those chattery thoughts to leave us. Hopefully we feel maybe a little, how can I explain it? Like a little buzzed almost. We've had a little too much wine and we feel woo. And that's okay. If you feel a little buzz feeling, that's a good thing. It means more oxygen has come into your brain and you were able to breathe more and you feel, whoa, wow, I feel a little more alive and energetic because all of that oxygen is now flowing through my body, through my bloodstream and into my brain and into my lungs and into my heart. And it helps us to feel a little more alive. So if you feel that way, that's a good thing. We've accomplished that, the deeper breath and the more awareness of breath that we might not do on a daily basis. So as we move on into the rest of our week, if you feel moments of feeling tired, if you feel moments of feeling anxious or even depressed, if you feel stressed, take some time. Maybe go back to your room, sit on the bed, sit in a chair, close your eyes, and start to take some nice deep breaths, just paying attention to the inhale as it fills the lungs all the way until you can't fill any more air, and then exhale until you can't push any more air out. And see if that brings you some more energy, if you're able to clear the mind a little bit. This is something you can do anywhere at any time. You can do it when you're in your exercise class. We want to breathe when we're doing that. You can do it while you're watching TV. You can do it while you're taking a shower, while you're in the bathroom. There's many places. So don't say you don't have any time to do all of this, because you can do it anywhere at any time. If you're on our staff, you can do it when you're having your meetings. You know, everybody's sitting around talking and you're sitting in your chair listening, and you can take those deep breaths. It doesn't have to be a secluded space. It can be, you know, when people are there. You probably don't want to close your eyes though, because they might think you're falling asleep. Anyway, I hope everyone had a wonderful journey through that breathing and we were able to bring in more oxygen to our lives today. Please practice breathing. I know it sounds silly, but it is a practice. And the more we do it, the better we get at it, and the more oxygen that'll come into our body, and it will make us healthier, I promise you. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day and a wonderful week. I'll see you next Tuesday.